I think we're live. It says we're live.
Says we're live. Waiting for it to show up. There we go.
Hello, people. Is anybody out there?
Yes, I'm going to do a little bit of sharing.
My internet's been super slow. All right, waiting for people. There's Jody. Good morning.
Good morning, Jody.
We're just waiting and waiting.
Waiting and sharing.
Waiting and sharing.
There's Tina and Mort. Good morning, Megan.
Morning, everybody. Yeah, TikTok's going to be an adventure.
Yeah, how is that?
I don't know yet. I mean, I put 2 videos out, but man, the fraud, the level of fraud on these social network platforms is really out of control.
So I have a TikTok, so I did watch them. They were good videos. I haven't done any videos. My children have done some for me, which is absolutely frightening.
Don't ever put your kids in charge of your videos, ever.
The thing was, I didn't know that. I went to create a TikTok and it said I already had one. And so I got into it. My kids had used my email to make it. I mean, it's nothing bad. It's actually kind of funny, but so that's how I discovered I had TikTok.
That's scary. What do you mean I have an account?
Yeah, that's exactly how it was too.
What the hell's on it? So good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Neva.
I do see one person showing up as a Facebook user. And so I think that there's a link somewhere where you can give StreamYard permission to use your name. Or if you're watching from a private group and you're not actually linked direct, that can kind of stop us from seeing who you are.
So we're just going to wait for a few more people to show up and then we'll get going. I know, Trudy, 7.5 more days of actual work. But then you break that down to like how many hours of actual work I do each day.
Don't do that to yourself.
That's like 14 hours. Because out of an 8-hour shift, I'll say 3 hours. I'll be generous and say I do about 3 hours of work each day. That's how slow this airport is. But the weather's been kind of crazy too, so.
The weather's been really crazy here too. It dropped 20 degrees today from what it was 2 days ago. We were in the 90s. Today I built a fire in my fireplace because I'm freezing. It's like in the house, it's like mid 60s and that's just too cold for me.
I was going to say, wait a minute, it's 90s and you're cold?
No, it's not anymore.
Oh, okay.
That's what I said. Like it dropped about 20 degrees.
We're going to be like 98 degrees over the weekend. I'm not looking forward to that. I do not like hot weather.
It is hot.
So,
oh, hi, Anjanette.
Why don't we get started?
Let's do it.
You pick the topic, so you start. And then if anybody out there has questions, let me specify questions because I think there's a lot of confusion with what type of questions. If you need guidance with something, again, if you can be more specific with a question, that helps. We're not going to get into really deep subjects. I had some people message me when I put the link up last week about some really deep topics that I will not go into over a public forum because they had to do with someone's death and murder. And that's definitely not a topic for a live broadcast. That would be more of sit down, have your private session type reading. These readings over, what we're doing here on Facebook, we try to keep them moving quick. So if we do make a connection, it's just going to be a quick message, then move on. Same thing with guidance. We're not going to really, take too much time to, really dig deep. because we want to get to as many people as we can. So just please understand that. Yeah. And then Jen had something.
Well, I just wanted to talk today. I wanted to talk today about mental health for a couple of reasons. Over the last week, I lost 2 friends to mental health reasons. And so that brings me to the topic of mental health. I feel like we all have the responsibility to take care of our own mental health. And I guess what I want to tell everyone is that, like, there's no shame at all in reaching out to a licensed mental health care provider. I'm not one. Okay. There are certain things that I cannot help you with. I'm not qualified to help you with. And I will always tell you that you need to go see a healthcare provider. So I guess I'm saying that is, if your intention in scheduling a session with a medium or a psychic, and not just for myself, but I feel like that this is really for any psychics in the entire field, if you want to call it that. If that is your intention, please understand that, unless for some reason there are some licensed mental health care provider and they've integrated the two, that's not the way that you want to reach out for mental health issues. I just feel like I think that mental health issues right now are at an all-time high. There are tons of reasons for that. And just learn to recognize that. Learn to recognize that in yourself. Learn to recognize that in your loved ones, and push them to get some help if that's what they need. I want to tell you just something really quick about one of my friends. I see this a lot in readings too, and this actually happened to me. I had a premonition the night before. I won't go into that, but I had this thought to reach out and type him a message, because we would always message, and the last message was left hanging. I hadn't returned it. So I had this thought of him earlier in the day, and then this thought clearly came to me not to message him. Wait, put it off for the next day. Message him tomorrow. And so tomorrow didn't come for my friend. And I spent a lot of time in this kind of deep place. I wouldn't say a lot of time, but, half of the day, maybe a full day, trying to process this and feeling really, really guilty and really, really bad that I didn't reach out in that moment when I thought about it. And the message came to me, very loving and very soft. And I was told that I was actually protected in that moment. Right? Had I reached out to him in the middle of that crisis, I was not qualified to help him. And what was going to happen was going to happen anyway, and that I needed to give myself some grace and some forgiveness. I'm not saying don't reach out to your friends. It's not at all what I'm saying. I'm just saying that sometimes there's a lot of guilt after something like that happens on the survivors of the loved one. And I don't know why, but I feel like somebody else may need to hear this message. You have to give yourself some grace. There's nothing in that moment that you could have said or done to change the outcome. So please know that. Please know that came to me so lovingly. I wish I could explain to you how that moment even came, but that's a long story. But it did, and I feel like that's a message that I want to pass forward to everybody on here.
And it's hard not to feel responsible in something like that. I've sat with many clients that have unfortunately dealt with suicide, and that one lingering question: what if I would have answered the phone that night when this person called? And I mean, you can't help but feel that you could have done something to help stop it. But, the messages that I get from spirit, the people on the other side, is that, their mind was made up.
Yes.
They were going to go forward with it, and it was nothing that person could have done to stop it. Again, I'm not an expert by no means in mental health. All I have is the messages that have come through from the other side. And, the one thing that's very prominent in those messages is don't take responsibility. You're not responsible for my actions.
Yes.
The person
And I've
that has
seen that.
crossed.
I've relayed that a lot in readings, but it's a very different thing to experience it. I mean,
Yeah.
it was
And
so
that's where, counseling could help you, deal with that.
right.
On some level, yeah, we can probably push through it on our own. But again, like you said, there's no shame in reaching out with getting help, on the survivor side of it.
Yeah, there are grief counselors. I know PTSD is another big thing. I was diagnosed with PTSD in 2017, and I fought therapy for the longest time, thinking like I can get through this. I'm tough, and there was a point where I almost did not get through it. And so that's when I started to make some changes and to seek therapy. And it was the best thing that I ever did for myself.
Mm-hmm.
The best. And so I guess, we all struggle at times. We all do. And please, I just want to encourage you, if you are struggling, to please reach out to the proper channels and get some help.
Yep. And Tina put up the suicide hotline number. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Tina. Oh, thank you, Crystal. So now we can lighten up. Should I ring the bell? Lighten up the energy.
What the hell was that?
That was my bell. Break up the energy. See?
Do you have your 25 lamps on this morning?
Well, yes, I have all 9 of them on.
9. Okay, I thought it was 25.
No, hell no. That would take me all morning.
So that'll heat up the house.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Also, I just want to go back to that really quick. EMDR, if anyone has never heard of that, for a PTSD, absolutely amazing therapy. So that's just something to check into. And they make it easy now, right? You don't even have to leave your house, you guys.
Oh my God, Zoom, yeah,
really.
I can tell you right now, I've gotten so lazy over the last couple of years that you don't have to leave.
I know. So have I. So have I.
And that's okay, I guess. If you have your own office and you can do your thing from your home, why not? Especially if you don't like people. You don't have to be
if you don't want to go out.
If it's too people-y outside, you don't even have to deal with that.
That's right. That's right.
Lots of benefits. All right. I don't even know where to start.
You are a belle, Kathy. And so Kathy, congratulations on I think the last time we talked, I was telling you about you had asked about a job or something. And I had talked to you about volunteering. So anyway, I understand you have an awesome new volunteer job that you love. So I just want to say congratulations to you.
Nikki Nicole, how the heck are you, eh? She's up there, way up there in Canada. How's the lutein and gravy? Or poutine? What do they call it? French fries and gravy?
What? Good.
Come on. You've never had French fries and gravy?
No.
Oh my God.
But do you know what? I don't like French fries.
All right, we're done. All right, we're ending the broadcast right now. I can't go further. No.
I know it's weird. I just don't. I do not like them.
Poutines. Yes, the bestest. Hey, Nikki, I know this is beating a dead horse for you, but why aren't you working like your mystical stuff? It's like every time I see you pop on, there's a message that comes through for you to get back to work and doing your stuff. She's also very psychic. See, Nikki, I even pulled this card for you. It's the Gateway card. Magical Unicorn. I think it's just time. Yeah.
So
You've jumped back in recently. Good.
Tony. So Tony feels like she's stuck, work life and in general. Could just use some general guidance. I'm going to pull one of these cards. These animal cards, divine animals. Because what I like about it is that like we can have spirit totems and spirit animals. And so, you know, it's just something that you can kind of call on. So let's see what we have for you. That would be it.
You can still message later, Nikki, if you want to. I won't put you in the ignore folder. I promise.
In the ignore folder. Okay, so this is the hare card. It's the rabbit card, and it talks about cycles. And so I feel like that this might just kind of be a cycle. This feeling stuck, like you're going to pull out of it. But I kind of feel like, does this cycle in your life? Do you go, and then just kind of feel stagnant and stuck, and then go some more and feel stagnant and stuck? Just wondering. I do. Well, that's what I'm feeling from this card. So, I'm just going to go with that. I'm going to know that this, just know that this is part of the cycle. It's part of growing, actually. There always is this kind of stagnant space, right? This dark place before the light comes. And not that it's a dark place, but it's just, you know, before we climb the hill, we're sometimes stuck at the bottom wondering if we can. And I kind of feel like that might be the case here. And that this is going to cycle. This is actually a period of growth for you. And so I want to encourage you to kind of take this stuckness as a positive for a minute. And I feel like there's a lot going on up here as to how to break the stuckness, and it's going to come. Okay. I just feel like it's going to come, and it's going to come naturally. You just might have to wait it out for a little bit. So I'm going to leave that with you, and I hope that helps.
Interesting, because my guides are popping into, and they want a moment. But this card just came out, stillness, and I'll just go with what I'm feeling here from my guides and wherever else this is coming from. Sometimes I don't really realize where the messages are coming from, but again, we all go through these moments of what's my next step. And unfortunately, you know, spirit may nudge us in a certain direction, but ultimately it's up to us to figure it out. It's not up to them. And like Jennifer was saying, when we get to these moments of stillness, it's a time for us to just sit back in that moment. Again, don't look at it as a negative. Look at it as an opportunity to sit and just feel things. You know, what do you want to do? A lot of people, and I'll share my story. I mean, most of you know what I'm going through right now. I just, if you want to call it brave or nuts, I'm stepping away from my safety net, my career, to surrender to spirit, you know. And did spirit tell me do this? No, not at all. Have I felt this is a path I should go down? Absolutely. But again, it was still up to me. There was never a moment in my journey thus far where spirit said, okay, tomorrow you need to quit your job and you need to do this. No, it is 100% up to me. It is my decision to make and no one else's. Am I scared? I am scared shitless about this, but in a good way. You know, I have so much support though from so many people that, you know, have encouraged me that I need to be out there. And again, you know, and I appreciate every one of them. But ultimately, again, it's up to me. But in that stillness, I've gone through this so many times where I just sat and thought about things, you know, and this is what it's led to. You know, who knows where it's going to go? I have no idea. But it's taken a chance, throwing aside that safety net and completely surrendering to spirit and see what happens. I mean, I have a feeling. I've always said this. My sister has always come through with this message for me that we wouldn't have brought you this far just to bring you this far. If I could get a tattoo, that would be my tattoo. But I feel it's the truth. Why would this have happened? And rather quickly, I mean, relatively speaking, I've been at this for 7 years total. 7 years. I know people that have been at this for decades. It just seems like things have relatively happened very quick for me, but I think it has a purpose, and I again, bravely or, crazily have taken the step to just do it. So that's what I'm gonna do. But again, getting back to my point about stillness, don't be afraid of that. It's time for you to reflect, and it's time for you to just sit in that and figure out what you want. Nobody's going to tell you what you should do. Nobody, so we can give you guidance. We can give you possibilities in the moment of what we're feeling, but ultimately it's up to you.
Right. And growth never happens in our comfort zone. It just doesn't.
Oh my God, no, it doesn't.
So we have to step out of it.
No, and next Friday is my last day at work. From there it's like I'm ready. I don't, I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
You got this. You're welcome, Tony. Let's see. I'm going to look at the comments really quick here. So I would like to talk about a person in spirit that's here. I do feel female, and I feel fairly young, in like 40s, 40-ish when past. She's tall. She's taller than well, I'm short, so I mean, whatever, relative to me, but I feel like she's tall. When people would see, not extremely tall, but they would notice that she was tall.
I'm 5'8", so I can't talk either.
Well, I'm 5'2", so.
A short little Italian guy.
Okay, I'm gonna wait just a second. So what I see with her right now is a pond and trees. I feel like she's around these. She's also has dark hair. It's fairly long. I do feel like she is she's looking for, I feel like this is a friend or like a cousin, but I'm also hearing sister, so this is a very, very close friend. Okay. Okay, Tony, that wouldn't surprise me since we just read for her. But can you tell me what resonates with that? I mean, because it's pretty strong to me that that's what it is. So I don't want to take something that's really strong to me and discount it. I want to make sure that it's working with Camille. Lived on.
Pretty sure that's supposed to say pond.
Oh, lived on the land. Oh, lived on a pond surrounded by trees. Okay. Because that's the one thing that I see her with is the pond and the trees, like right away. You know what? This is interesting because we were just talking to you, right? grounding. I feel like she's saying to you, go outside, go around these places like water and trees. Like I just see her around there. It's a happy place for her. It's going to be a good place for you to go and reflect. If you have a place like this that's similar, it's going to be a good place for you to sit in the stuckness, if that makes any sense. Also, Tony, did you have a situation with her much like I just described when I first got on? Did you not get to see her or not get to talk to her? Because I just want to tell you what I'm hearing from her is like, okay, that's so interesting because I was talking about that and I can just hear that. You needed that message that I had earlier, okay? Be gentle with yourself. Let that go. This is not your fault, okay? Yeah, you're blaming you, and I can feel every fucking bit of this right now because this is exactly what I just went through. So if you were on earlier, please listen to the message that I had. If you were not and you have time later, please watch the replay because I knew there was a reason that I needed that message. She's coming in very clearly and she's giving you that same message and the pond and the trees. And I'm going to leave that with you. From much love, like from her to you is what I'm hearing. So please take that with you. And thank you. Do you see how spirit works, you guys? Do you see how spirit ties things together? It blows my mind every single time when something like that happens, right? Because I came in with that message. And then Michael and I pulled a card for Tina, and then here comes her friend. So this is how spirit works, and it's absolutely amazing to me every single time.
Marlene, Mary, I just have to ask you this because every time I see your name, you're asking about your girlfriend, Suzanne. Is there some kind of mystery surrounding her passing? And what I mean by that, I'm feeling something like related to being in under a doctor's care and either a medication or something that either she had a reaction to. It's hard to decipher what this is, but I feel that there was a substance involved in an untimely passing. Because I keep feeling don't blame. Does that make sense? And it's okay if it doesn't. I'm just feeling this every time I see or when I read your message. A question about malpractice. Okay, then this is somebody else then, because I have a female here that's, I just feel this energy from this woman. And I just feel there's a prescribed substance that she had a reaction to. And I just feel like there's a question about malpractice around her passing. She's also what I would consider young. I'm seeing 41. And I'm feeling that she leaves 2 children behind too, a boy and a girl. I'm also feeling that her career, she did something with law. So I'm feeling like maybe paralegal, something with law. So Marlene, know that I'm not connected with your friend. Again, I just go by what I'm getting from this woman that's stepping forward.
Jody says, or my cousin Jessica Bennett.
So this is what I got from this woman stepping forward. So if this makes sense to anybody, please let me know. I don't try to make anything fit, but that's what I got from this woman. Again, I feel a woman, 40s. I'm seeing 41. I'm feeling some type of question about malpractice. I'm seeing a reaction to some medication that contributing to her passing. And I'm also feeling that her career, she had something to do with law. I'm feeling paralegal. So I'll leave it at that. And if anybody can connect with that, good.
Brittany, I know that you just barely hopped on. Does that resonate with you? I don't know why, but as Michael was speaking, I was drawn right to your name. And he popped on right after he finished. So hopefully she got to hear it the second time.
I'll just leave it at that.
Okay.
And we'll see. I'll put a message to it though. Again, she's just making me feel that the doctors, the staff, whoever was treating her, they did everything they could, and she's making me feel like to stop blaming and move on. It's not malpractice. They did what they could. It was just an unfortunate reaction to whatever treatment she had. Brittany, I'll say it again really quick in case this does make sense for you. But I have a woman stepping forward. She shows me passing at 41. And it was due to a substance that she was prescribed under treatment from a doctor that she had a reaction to and passed. It contributed to her passing. I felt she was connected career-wise to law, like paralegal. And the question of malpractice is still persisting with, those connected with her. But she's saying to just let that go.
A lot of letting go today, huh? A lot of letting go of blame. there seems to kind of be a trend. So Brittany says not her. Let's see. Hi, Tony. Let's see. Christy's on.
And good morning to everybody just jumping on. I don't know. I got the Rebel cards out.
You did?
Who wants a Rebel card?
I think everybody wants a Rebel card.
Let's see. All right, Jody. Let's see, Jody. Jody. I'm feeling like a decision. You're trying to, there's something you're contemplating right now. And I know that seems vague, but I just feel as soon as I read your I just feel you're trying to, there's something that you're trying to decide on right now. Let me just see what comes up. I don't know if this is career. Career is coming forward is what I'm seeing. Let's see here. Oh, one just flew out here. Let's see what this is. I don't know. Interesting, because this is what comes up with that project, that person. Can't read backwards. That idea is waiting. Get after that shit. The world has your back. So I don't know if that makes sense for you, Jody, but
I don't have my Rebel cards with me, but I did see, I think it was Kathy. She would like an animal card. So I'm going to pull an animal card for her really quick.
Uh-oh, that's spot on.
She says that's spot on.
Jody, good. I just feel the need to tell you to follow your heart. I just feel that you've kind of just pushed through like many of us do with just a job, something to pay the bills. But I just feel like there's something that's been like really tugging at you to step back and do something that and reinvigorates your soul, because I feel like whatever one of your life purposes has to do with whatever this career, job, passion that's been building. I just feel you need to follow that. And there's another card for you, Jody. Time to let go. And I feel this is like move the fuck on from whatever job you have right now that's holding you back.
Nice. All right, Kathy. So I got the beaver card for you, and this is interesting because we were just talking about your job. The beaver is about work. It's about but there has to be a balance. Okay. I feel like I want to tell you balance with this. The beaver is about balance. He's also very good at protecting himself, right? He can build and build and build. He dams himself off. For some reason, I feel like I just want, with this card, I just want to tell you that it's time to open that a little bit, okay? And I know that you're doing that by going out and doing this work. We were just talking about being stuck. I still feel stuck there. So I just want to tell you to open up the walls a little bit, open up the dam a little bit, and let some flowing go. Okay. So here's the beaver card, and the call on him will help you. I don't know what that is, Kathy, but I feel like you do. Okay. So open those up just a little bit more.
Brittany, that bottle you're drinking out of looks like an afterbirth bottle.
What?
I don't know what the hell that is, but oh my God.
I didn't notice it.
Just my sippy cup.
Oh, gross.
All right. Oh yeah, Jody, time to quit. Yeah, put yourself first. Nothing selfish about that. Let's see.
So Joanna has a question. I have a question. Does it help you guys if I have a personal item of the person I am hoping might come forward? So not specifically, but the intention can. Sometimes the intention can, if you're asking your loved ones to come forward, that can help. It doesn't necessarily mean that they will, but it can help. It's all like intention.
Yep. And then if you were on video or in person, it's what you're asking about. It's called psychometry.
Yes.
And basically, a person that owned that object, their energy is still attached to it. We leave an energy imprint from wherever we go. So I have done that in live readings where if somebody brings an object, I can hold it, and that usually opens up the connection. But like Jen said, it's the intention.
I do have something, a little story about that I'll tell you really quick though. I was doing a reading for a client, and I kept seeing a brooch, and she didn't know anything about the brooch. Anyway, long story short, we came to realize that her mother knew that she was having the reading, her living mother, and she wanted some of the ancestors to come through. And so her mother was holding the brooch. She was not a part of the reading. She was states and states away, but the mother was holding the brooch, and I could see the brooch. So yes, it can help.
All right, let's see. Good morning, Tammy. If I didn't say hello, I got to give Tammy a rebel card. Tammy Young. What do we got for you? Tammy, do you have a question, like specific? I just feel there's something, and it would help me kind of tune in a little bit more. Let's see. Shuffling. The book. So immediately when you say that, Tammy, I'm brought to publisher. So I don't know if you're having difficulty with a publishing company. I just feel the need to tell you to look for a second option. Look for a second option or second opinion with the publishing part of this book. Don't settle. Don't settle. So I don't know if that's what comes to mind. Just got off with an editor. Okay. But yeah, I don't know the process, so I don't know if an editor also does publishing, but there's something about the publishing part of this that either if you encounter, this may be future, but if you encounter something with a publisher, don't settle. I'm just feeling don't settle and look for second options too. But let me see if a card will come out for this too. The editor part feels legitimate. But I just keep coming back to this publisher. Okay. I don't know. This probably has nothing to do with what you asked, but this is the card that came out. Is that coming up backwards? Can you read that, or is it backwards?
We can read it.
Oh, okay. Because I'm seeing it. It's backwards to me.
Oh, I can read it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good, Tammy. I know, Neva, that book has been like, I think brought up since I started doing this work. And I'm just so lazy. That's my problem.
It's hard to write a book. I have the start of a book and it's hard. I critique myself too much, I think.
There's always something, right? I always have an excuse.
Yeah, I know. I do.
I remember when I was in high school, my shop teacher was like, "You're just Mr. Procrastinator." And that's every time. What's up, procrastinator? I mean, literally, it came down to a decision in high school. I was in my senior year, and I had one project. I think it was mechanical drawing, and those two were the same. I still remember his name. But it's like literally there was 5 minutes left of this class, and I had 5 minutes to finish this project I was working on, or I would be held back from graduation. And I sat there just staring at the clock going, fuck it, what's another year of high school? And then something got inside of me and just said, no, you dumbass, draw the fucking line and get this shit done and turned in.
What's another year of high school?
I thought, shit, no, I'll be in the same grade as my brother. That is not happening. Hell no.
Jody, I see your question, and I have a quick question for you. I do feel a young lady around me, and I what I'm feeling from her is actually fentanyl accidental in marijuana is what she's showing me. I don't know, Jody, if this is connected to you or not, but I have felt her around. I saw your message. And so I would like to ask if that is how Jessica passed. That's Morgan? Okay. Here's what I want to tell you about that. Here's what she's saying. She says, please don't let this destroy the family. Okay. I feel like she's telling me that there's kind of odds at it in a certain way. Like some people are wanting to believe this. Some people are not. Michael, this kind of takes me back to your earlier reading about letting go of the blame for the death, because she's making me feel like somebody, I feel like there might be a part of the family that really wants to pursue justice for this more than the other side. I don't know if that's what's going on or not, but if you could just let me know, because I feel like that's kind of happening there. And she says, like, to please let this go. We're just all over the blame thing today, right? And the letting go.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense to you, Jody?
Can I add something, Jody? Because I'm what usually happens is we double link in so the spirit we can connect. Do you have a friendship bracelet of your friends? Is Morgan a friend? Because I'm just feeling into the energy, and there's something about a friendship bracelet or a bracelet.
Okay, Jody. Yes, and yes, she says.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to tell you. Actually, I don't know if. Do you have anything else, Michael, while I'm trying to?
Well, she validated that she does, and she wears the bracelet every day. And Morgan just wants you to know that. I mean, she's with you. She just showed me something. Did you stumble or trip lately? Because she just showed me like you walking along and like stumbling and tripping. I don't know if you actually fell to the ground, but she's snickering about this. And I just feel her personality. She's like, yeah, Jody's a clumsy ass. I don't know. I'm just sorry, but this is what I'm feeling. Again, it's energy that comes through, and I have to interpret it somehow. But that's my interpretation.
No.
She's just giving you a hard time. Like, yeah, Jody's a clumsy ass. So I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but that's what she's showing me.
The thing that I'm feeling from her really strong is she wants you to remember her. She doesn't want you to remember so much how she passed. I feel like this situation she's making me feel like it's really kind of detracted from the memory of who she was. A hell of a lot of fun. Like that's literally what she's saying to me. And so I feel like
Yeah.
she says she trips over her own feet.
Okay.
So with what Michael has and what I had, what came through for me, I feel like really the message is to laugh again, to smile again, to whatever's going on here with the family. Like I can see it, but I don't want to get into it right now. That's why I paused. To don't let that take precedence over her memories and her good memories and all of those things. So again, here we go back to the theme of the day, which is like releasing some blame and releasing some guilt. And this bracelet that you wear every single day, she's aware of that. And that's where you'll find like comfort. For some reason, I'm actually seeing, and I don't know if you do this, my hand wants to go like this. So that might just be something that you can do or something that you do. I'm not entirely sure what that is, but I'm going to leave you with that because that image is so clear in my mind.
She wants to keep going because she's having like a great time with this right now. Her energy is, she's just like, I just feel with her, she took nothing serious. Like she just took nothing serious in life, and she just wanted just to have a good time while she was here. I'm throwing this out because this is what she's making me feel. I don't know if you two had a pact about like if one of you passed before the other. This is what she's making me feel though. Something about a pact or talking about a message that one of you, whoever went first, like I would do this to let you know I'm around, but she shows me butterflies with that.
We'll wait for Jody. Okay, so Jody says she does do this to her bracelet all the time, which is interesting. No, she didn't. That's the way she said to me was she was a hell of a lot of fun. Jody says yes.
Okay, so that's yes to the pact. Okay. Does the butterflies make sense too? Because she's really highlighting the butterflies first, along with that. She just said, you got to know this shit is real. This afterlife, it's not a figment of our imagination. This shit is real, is what she just said.
Like it was a joke.
Okay.
So pay attention to the butterflies. Yeah, her energy just is like all over the place.
Yep.
Um,
Good.
and so what you have to know, Jody, is she says that she says that she loves you too, and I'm telling you this is all I keep seeing. Like you may even feel this. I feel like you might feel this little pressure on your hand that's not you on the bracelet. So be prepared for that. You may feel that.
It's she's oh my god. She will not quit, and I don't usually hang on, but she is like she literally was like feeling the energy of what was going on today in this, because it really, I mean, being honest, the energy was kind of really
Yeah.
heavy because of the subject areas we've been talking about. And she's like, I gotta change this shit up. She's like, no, what the excuse my language, but she's like, what the fuck is going
Here
on
I
here?
go.
I have to change up this shit. So I don't know if she had a mouth on her, because I feel like
Oh.
we could have had a competition with the language, but she's like, I needed to come in and just shake this shit up. So
Oh, she says that's my girl.
okay,
Okay, so
well, then thank you.
yes. Yes, and thank you, Jody. Thank you for being open. I always think that's cool when the both of us can connect that way. I love how that double linking right there works.
Yeah. Boy, it did. She just shifted the energy. And
I know.
Oh my God.
That must be for you. My postmaster at the post office wants to talk to you sometime.
Okay. I have plenty of appointments open, especially after the 24th. Feel free, if that person would love to book a reading, I would greatly appreciate it. So I am open for business full time after the 24th of June.
Okay, so Brad has a question. Why are spirits being attracted to me at locations we visit, especially kid spirits?
Because you're open.
Yes, that's what I was just going to say, because you're open. If you do not want that to happen, then you have to not be open to that. Yeah, if your intention is to connect, then intentions are strong, you guys.
Yeah, and the thing is too, and this is what I've understood from spirit. It's like, again, all of us have this ability, but some people are just have that heightened sense of awareness. And how it's been interpreted to me, and from what I've read, it's like we have this light, our energy, our aura has this light, and spirit can sense when people can hear them and realize that they're there. And remember this too, we live amongst them. We're in the same space, it's just different vibrations. So it's not like they're somewhere else, they're here amongst us too. So we're going to have these interactions. But if you have that heightened sense of awareness, they know it, and they're going to be attracted to you because they want to be heard. Like a bug to a light. Hell yeah, it is. I don't know if anybody's seen it, but I was like, I'm so goofy, but I had the cigarette lighter. So it's pretty much a bug light. And I was like, I pulled the car cigarette lighter out. This is years ago. I won't say when. But I was like, I pushed it in and it popped out and it wasn't glowing orange. So I figured this thing's broke. So I stuck my finger in it. It was hot. So I'm a goof.
Casino says, we stayed at an old adobe place in New Mexico. Jillian took a photo. We are convinced something paranormal is in it. Kind of cool.
I would not doubt that at all.
Oh, me neither. I'd love to see it. If you want to share it, I would love to see it. You could share it on my in my group. But did you guys intentionally take that picture because you thought there was something paranormal there? I'm asking the question because I can feel, I have this weird ability of seeing into things, seeing into places. So as you talk about this adobe, like I can feel the energy in there. I feel like inside there's a doorway of some kind without a door. Maybe it's an art, maybe it's square. I don't know what this is, but that right there is kind of where I feel some energy. So I'm curious if you guys felt that there or in that space at all. And if you intentionally took that photo for that reason, or if you were just looking through photos and saw it. But I do feel like that there was a feeling of it beforehand. You felt something there for sure. Okay. But they were taking a selfie when they took that. Okay.
Brad, why is his name familiar?
Oh
Brad.
no.
Brad, I gotta, because when I read your post and you brought up children, this may be a little sensitive, but at some point, did you lose a child, like somebody that didn't make it into the world, like pre-birth, lost pregnancy? I just feel this energy around you from a lost. It's a lost pregnancy. It's somebody that a person that a spirit person is coming through that says they weren't born. Sometimes I find words hard.
I know.
Oh my God, trying to convey what I'm feeling sometimes. But I just feel like there's a lost pregnancy either connected to you or your family. Not that you're aware of. Okay, this may be somebody else coming through then, but I don't know. For some reason, when I read your comment and you brought up why, or the children that are connected or attracted to you.
Also, I don't know how long that you have been watching Tostino, but I feel like I also want to tell you this. There was a message that I delivered at the first of this. There's been kind of a theme throughout today. I feel like I need to tell you to go back and watch the very beginning at some point if you feel like you would like to do that. He says,
Oh, awesome, Hannah.
very good, Hannah.
Congratulations.
Oh, okay. You just hopped on. Let's see. Somebody had asked a question about when. I can't find the question now.
Is it about how do we sense energy, spirits?
I think that it was when we kind of.
I'm scrolling.
Oh, there it is. When did you discover you had this ability to see and talk to spirits? So in hindsight, I can tell you that it was a child because I had a lot of experiences and I even knew then that they weren't right, but I didn't know what it was, right? I didn't know. And so I just thought that there were scary things. I didn't really understand what was happening. And so some of my very first childhood memories are paranormal things. I don't have a whole lot of memories from my childhood, but the ones that I do are tied with this like paranormal side to it. And then, I've always just kind of been able to know things, but I didn't know what it was until I really started working with it in 2016. And then I started to just about the same time as Michael did. I think I'm maybe a year behind him, like 6 years. When I started to start listening and started to develop it and started working with it. Wasn't until about 6 years ago.
Yeah, mine. I had no experiences growing up at all. Like Jen said, though, looking back now, I can see things intuitively that were going on that I felt. I was super sensitive too in my teenage years. I couldn't figure it out, but then going into the military, well, that squashed up any part of that. But for me, it was like a light switch kicked on when after my sister's passing, and it was just like 1 minute I was normal, second I was still not normal. I don't know. I was never normal.
That's not as quick as it happened for me. But were we ever normal? That's the question.
I was never normal. It's I'll just say this. We all experience it until you're aware of how spirit works. You don't realize it. For me, I'll give you a quick example. I thought mediums saw a spirit like they do people. And if you didn't have that experience where you saw it physically or heard them physically, you weren't a medium. It wasn't until after stuff happened to me that I realized that it's going on in internally. So everything's, right here in this steel trap, everything is works through my mind. And initially it's like, this is weird because it feels like your self-talk, your self-thoughts. But the more you work with it and the more you develop it, you start to figure out how to separate your thoughts from spirit, because it comes through the same way. It's just right now, it's like I'm in that zone, if you will, where I'm open. So everything that comes through, that's from spirit. But again, that's a short of it. But I want to go back to Aaron because I want to talk about this miscarriage. Was it a female? Because I feel female energy. Let me just feel into this for a second, Aaron. So do you have a son? Because what I'm feeling with this energy is she was a female, but what she says is I made room for my brother. So I don't know if you have a son now, but I just feel like it wasn't her time and she made room for the brother. So I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I'm feeling. And there's something, I don't know, Aaron, also, I'm seeing the year 1986 around you for some reason. I don't know if there's something significant in addition to this, but 1986 keeps coming up in my awareness for some reason.
Jeremy.
Wait a minute. It was my daughter's child.
chocolate.
Okay. Divorce. Parents divorced in 86, so something, there's some. It's just weird because I'm not getting much more than making room for the brother. And unfortunately, it just, it just stops right there. I don't feel anything else coming through. It's weird. Oh, Tammy. Okay. If this makes sense or resonates, Tammy, this may be for you. Then again, that's what I was feeling when she came through. She just said it wasn't my turn. I had to make room for my brother. All right. And that's all that's coming through from that. So I'm going to kind of just let that go for now. We have a few minutes more. We're going to stop around 12:15 because unfortunately I still have to go to work.
Okay, so I see Chestina's comment again. The opposite happened to me. I was very in tune my whole life until my little brother passed, and then it just stopped. This takes me back to the beginning of the video again. This takes me back to kind of what our theme has been about today, about releasing some things, letting some guilt and some blame go, addressing some issues that we might have from some things such as trauma. That is what our loved ones on the other side want for us. They want us to go forward. I'm going to be very honest with you. What really opened mine and switched mine, like Michael says, almost in a second from normal to not normal, was trauma. It was trauma. And so I feel like that could also be the opposite. Actually, let me put it this way. It wasn't the trauma that did it. It was the recovery and the healing from the trauma that did it. In the blink of an eye, a very long story about how that happened. But I was in that place where I literally didn't care what happened to me. I didn't care anymore. And I broke down. I was laying on my apartment floor. I hadn't had sleep for a very long time. And I just broke down. And this is literally what I did, you guys. I surrendered everything. And I said, if there is anything or anybody besides what is right here, I'm ready. I said, I'm going to quit trying to change the way things are, but please give me a sign. Please give me a fucking sign. I'm desperate. And I will follow. I will listen. And I shit you not, within hours, I had my first sign. But it took complete and total, like this. And I hope that doesn't happen for everybody. But the point of that was that I feel that could happen the opposite way, Tessino. I really, really do. So we could be open and then something could come and just, we close everything off because we're not dealing with that. So please go back and watch the beginning of the video.
We're always looking for a signier sign, as you say.
We are. Let's see.
I want to say I do have my calendar's open finally. So I do have appointments available. There's a couple towards the end of June, July, and I can't remember if I opened August or not. But again, these are just quick tidbits here. We just make a connection and move on. Personal readings, one-on-ones, they get way more in depth because we can just concentrate on your energy and your people coming through. So I just wanted to remind you, you can go to my website and check out what's available.
So I just want to address Tom's question really quick about having a pact and having a keyword and still no contact from their loved ones. And Michael just said it. We're always looking for a signier sign. So pay attention to the small signs. I have to tell you, I do feel like that there have been signs. And so don't discount those just because they're not this one thing that you're waiting for. Sometimes in waiting for that one thing, you will discount the other things.
And you got to remember this too, Tom. They have to somehow come up with a way to get that thought into our head. So they may be sending it. We may just not be getting it. And a lot of people don't understand that. They think that they're just standing right here like a human and saying, here, show them this. Right now, because when I'm connecting in with you, I don't know if there was something with fishing, but I see a fishing hook that he keeps showing me. And for some reason, there's a beer tab. I'm seeing up the top of a beer can being broke open and something about a beer tab. And I had this feeling of just asking you this question, and I don't really understand what this means, but I get this feeling to ask you, what the fuck are you waiting for? So I'm saying that I'm connecting to your friend right now, but I'm just having these images and feelings come through when you talk about him. But yeah, if you're looking for a specific thing and earlier when Jody's friend was coming through, I mean, I would love to say that happens every reading, but man, she was coming through with very specific, like, this is what we talked about, if one of us passed in butterflies, I would love to be able to say that happens every time I sit down with somebody. I just, I have no control over it. They just make me aware of, whatever they want to talk about. And I may miss 50% of what they're trying to say, because the human mind's only capable of keeping up so much. But
look at the comments.
Always look at spirits like a supercomputer of today, and the human mind is like, an Apple computer back in 1986 with only like 250 megabytes of hard space, and you're like.
I saw a really great demonstration about that, actually. Somebody used 2 water bottles, and one was empty, one was full. And so they started off by pouring just a little bit into the bottom of the water bottle, because as mediums, we have to empty our mind, but we have to have some in there because we have to process the information. And the more psychic impressions would come in, they would pour water in there until finally we couldn't hold it. It just like overflowed because you couldn't keep up with it. And so
Yeah.
you're right.
Oh, that's interesting. Tom says we're both getting a business together and he wanted me to continue the plans. Well, good. Then that message fits. What the fuck are you waiting for?
Yeah. Okay, let me.
This is weird too. Tom, I'm throwing this out there. I don't know if it. I'm seeing Steve Miller's song Abracadabra around you. So I don't know if that has any specific meaning to you. It's, yeah.
Gonna reach out and grab you.
Yep.
I just heard that song just a couple of weeks ago for the first time in forever. It's funny. Okay, let's look at this. Good morning, Joanna. Well, are you about ready to wrap it up, Michael, so you can go to work?
Yeah.
You want to do?
I really don't want to go to work, but we had a plane crash on Sunday, so I'm like, he wasn't hurt severely, but it was just one of those things where that's what I'm not going to miss about this. It's like, I was a young kid, student pilot, just got airborne, and man, the next thing he knew, it just dove nose first into the ground. Luckily, he wasn't that. He just got off the runway, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done with that. I just don't want that. Nope, I'm done.
Yeah, Carla, it was super cool to watch it too. Maybe one day I'll put a tablecloth or something on my desk and actually kind of show you how it works, because the demonstration was way better than I described it. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Let's see. Laura, you're welcome, Aaron. I think you should pull a rebel card for everybody before we leave. We should leave off with the rebel card, don't you think?
Sure. So this will be a general card for everybody before we say good day. Oh, one just came out. Oh, shit.
Well, there you go. Laugh. Perfect. There you go.
There you go. I mean, that pretty much sums it up, because that's what it's all about. You know, if it's a common theme from Spirit coming through is, man, they do not want us sitting here wallowing in self-pity. They truly understand that it's that physical separation is you're never going to have that again with the people that cross over. And that's the hardest part to get through, is just learning to live without that person physically here. And even a mediumship reading, I mean, it can only give us so much comfort, but the message is that somehow, we go on in some way, and they just want us to understand that this is a temporary existence, and enjoy every minute of it. Sometimes they're going to be harder than others, and that's just the way life is. But you just have to find that reason to fucking laugh. I mean, you do. I know I take it overboard. I seriously, it's hard for me to take anything serious. I just can't. And I know I go overboard sometimes with that, but that's just how I am. Going through what I went through, I just fucking laugh. Do I take this work serious? I take this very, very serious. But outside of that, it's hard to have a serious conversation with me. I'm just a freaking kid at heart, and that's me. That's all it is. So fucking laugh.
You're right, Jody. And thank you.
Everybody should hug a raccoon. Hell yeah, they should.
Yeah.
And send pictures. If you can get it on video, I'd love to see that.
All right. I think we're going to get off here. I think we're going to leave with that laugh, and then we will be back next week, same time,
We will.
11 Central.
All righty. Well, you all have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, until next time.
We'll see you later. Is that your parade wave, Michael?
That's my Queen of England. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh. Good night.
Bye.